Welcome back to another trade recap. Don't mind the hair. Your boy just woke up and didn't fix the hair, which I usually do, but today's just extra fucking bad. Looks like I just fucking got raped by a walrus. But anyway, here was the trade that I ended up taking today. I actually took two trades. I didn't mark it out. First trade was, the idea was there, but the execution was very, very bad. And I'll just go over it as I go over. But I ended up taking two trades today. One L, one small loss, and then one, obviously, a big win. But I kind of want to go through the two trades that I ended up taking. I'm only up around like $600 across both accounts. So let's go over the trade that I ended up taking today. So, all right, let's go to pre-markets. So coming into market open, if you take a look at the 15-minute, overall on the higher time frame, on the 4-hour, we're continuing to respect this 4-hour bullish fair value gap that's to the left of us, right? And in pre-market, we ended up having NFP at 630, and that news data spiked us up, and we ended up having another manipulation leg, right? But still holding this bearish SMT with this 4-hour internal high up here. So coming into the market open, I don't know what the market wants to do. I literally came into the market open, and I said, I don't know what the market wants to do. However, all I know is when market is so far in premium like this, I can't take a long. Like, no long that I can take is going to be high quality unless I'm taking a long entry back down here in OTE, right, and discount at the price leg. So coming to the market open, I was really only looking for shorts. That's all I wanted to see. We had data lows resting below us. We had this unfilled 15-minute, right? We had London resting below us. We had midnight open resting below us. So overall, I wanted to see the market go lower. However, a short is all that I could take. So I wasn't really worried about looking and taking a long. So in pre-market, ES ends up taking this high before NQ, and we end up putting in a bearish SMT. Now, I usually never, ever take pre-market trades, but this was extremely tight risk. And again, the trade model, like I said, the model was there, and it was a good trade. However, my execution was just absolutely dog shit. So we end up closing below this change in the state. We end up closing below this change in the state of delivery. I enter short here. I got actually a really good fill. And I have a really tight stop at this candle high. I'm only risking about like $250. And what I wanted to target was this unfilled 15-minute for first TP down here, and then all the way back towards data lows for my second TP. And I wanted to, and I like to call these like lottery ticket trades, if that makes sense. Not saying like I'm looking to fucking gamble, but I'm just saying like my break even point was at these internal lows, right? So once I go break even, it's basically just a free lottery ticket to see how far the market wants to go lower, right? Because we have this whole move to rebalance into, and I don't know how deep we want to rebalance. We could rebalance right here, and then I get stopped at break even. We could be rebalanced the unfilled 15-minute. I get my first TP hit, and then I get stopped at break even. I don't know, right? Like I said, I'm completely fine with the trade that I ended up taking. However, I trade on TradingView for a lot of my accounts, and then I trade on also Project X for other of my accounts, right? So I have to, and I'm on my laptop right now because I'm not at my apartment. And so I have to manage both accounts at the same time. So I have to swipe through different things. So I end up entering short, and I want to go break even at these internal lows, right? As soon as I enter the short, I place my stop on TradingView. I swipe over to Project X. I enter short on Project X. And by the time I enter short on Project X, we had already taken this low, right? We had already taken this low. So my fill on Project X was like all the way, like it was probably like down here, like almost taking this low. And two bad things happen. Again, because I'm managing my position over on Project X, I forget to move my stop to break even, so I get stopped out here. So I get stopped out for like $300 on TradingView. And then I forget to place my stop on Project X because I was so like concerned about getting back over here and moving my stop, that it wicks up so quick and it stops me out, and I have to manually close my position like up here. So I ended up being down around $300 across all my Apex accounts, which was these accounts down here, this tight risk. And then on my Alpha accounts, I was down around like, I think 700 across all accounts. So that was my first trade that I ended up taking today. Again, decent model. Again, all these should have just been stopped at break even and should have been, break even on the day. So just wanted to journal about that and just placing and having better execution, because this was literally all execution. And again, that's my fault. Like, it's my fault that my execution was piss poor. But anyways, that was my first trade that I ended up taking today. After that, just wanted to stay really patient, because at this point in time, right, this candle had not been formed. We were wicking this 5-minute for value gap and moving higher. So I was like, okay, maybe we want to move higher. Again, I can't take a long at this point in time. So we end up coming back lower, right? Just building more price action. We have this first 1-minute change. I ended up not taking this. I just wanted to see more price action get put in. I didn't know what the fuck the market wanted to do. But when this 5-minute closed and we ran this 5-minute, I was leaning more bearish bias. I wanted to see this get tapped possibly, or this, where was that? This unfilled 15-minute, the unfilled 15-minute gets tapped. Again, I just want to wait and see what price action wants to do. And if we take a look at ES at this point in time, ES around like 745-ish is extremely bearish, right? We've ran through this 15-minute. We're respecting this inverse. We come back, we tap this inverse, we tap this order block, or this change in state, sorry, and we move lower. So ES is looking extremely bearish. I'm just waiting for NQ to verify the bearish bias, right? So I mark out this internal high up here. We end up taking this internal high, tapping this original 1-minute bearish for value gap, and having really good displacement lower. Now, again, my execution was a big problem today, right? So again, like I said, I have to swipe through both platforms to enter trade. So I enter short here around when the candle was about to close in like 6 seconds, like 5 or 6 seconds. So I enter short. My fill gets like right here, which again, pretty good fill. But we never end up closing below this change, because I wanted to enter the short with like 6 seconds, so then I could set my stop, quickly go over to Project X, do the same thing over at Project X. So then my risk is in place, right? So we never end up closing below this change, which was unfortunate. Again, it did end up working out. But anyway, I enter short here, my stop a little below the recent high, and then I am targeting equilibrium, because I don't know how far we want to go into this range, because I don't want to try and bet if we are going to completely run through this 15-minute and take data lows in London. So I'm just targeting equilibrium of the price leg, which ended up being right around here, right? So I end up targeting equilibrium of the price leg. I want to go break even at this internal low. We end up kind of building more price action, getting below those down close candles. As soon as we get below these down close candles, I mitigate risk more. I move my stop to this recent high, right? And then we continue to build more price action. We get really good displacement lower, right? And then we end up hitting my break even. As soon as my break even point gets hit, we might stop to break even, and like in like the next 5 seconds, my take profit ends up getting hit. So here was the second trade that I ended up taking today. Very happy with this trade. Again, my execution today was just really poor. And if I'm being completely honest with myself, it is hard to manage positions on a laptop on multiple platforms with 2 platforms. And that was something that I really journaled. And moving forward, I might just trade on one platform, and maybe, I don't know. I gotta think it over. But I will be home soon, so it'll be easier then. But yeah, those were the 2 trades that I ended up taking today. I'm up around like $600-700. I'm up around like $600-700. But yeah, those were the 2 trades that I ended up taking today. I hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys banked as well, and I will catch you in the next one.